Okay, here we begin. So the SPIRA team is usually used for user acceptance testing. SPIRA team, you have to create a free account, or else you can create an account using your institutional username and password, and institutional email address also helps with that. So usually any student, if you are a student of an university and having an university email, that would be helpful to create a free account and SPIRA team. So this one helps you for project planning, requirements gathering, testing out the user acceptance level, and you can track the bugs here as well. So as you can see, there are three tabs already up there. So that's planning, testing, and tracking. The other one is for reporting, which shows you how like what are the things you have been doing till now. So as you can see in the planning section, there are four sections already. So requirements, planning board, releases, and documentation. So requirements, if we go in the first one tab, it's the requirements. So here you enlist your requirements gatherings, like whatever the users, whatever the company work from you as a requirement for their software to be designed for. So as you can see, I already made some demos. So here are like user, say like I'm making a website for an organization, and these are the requirements they gave me to work with. So there is one is user can go to the website. So the website has to be like running when they are working on that. User can go to register page through home page. User can register an account using valid email address and everything. So, and there is the other tabs are showing whether you covered the tests or not, what is the progress, you can track it here, how important that section or that requirement for your whole project, the status showing where was it tested or not, who is the author working in it, and the other section is released, whether like for agile software development process or any other development process, you have to have some release dates where you release some requirements you already worked on and with along with their functionality. And the other one, you can define the type of the things. So here is like, is it a feature, is it a need, is it a quality, is it a use case, or is it a user story? You can define that here in the type section. In the estimation, you can estimate how much time you need to make that requirements fulfilled. And here, as you can see, these are automatically generate requirements IDs, so you can work on later on with this. So if I go for my first requirement, so user can go to the website. If you open it, give it some time to load it in. So this is how it looks like no information in there. So this is each of the sections here. So you can, as you can see, you can attach new things in there with tasks. If you want to attach a site, if you these are the histories, how did it go till now, and what are the associations with it. So if I go back to the requirements list, so how you add a requirement. So all you need to do is like click here as insert. So if you go, as you see down bottom here, there is a new requirement tab. So just edit it according to your needs. Say like my client wants me to add a new tab, add a tab to go directly at home page. So say my owner wants me to put a tab where by just clicking at that he can go to his home page. So that acts like a back button or something for that home page. So here is like, if you define during that time, you can define whether what is the issue with that. Is it critical to do, is it medium, is it what kind of priority you want to assign to it. So say like my client wants it really badly, and I think it would be critical to do that, so I assign it as medium. What is that, what is the condition of that, is it in progress, it in developed, tested, under review, or just requested. So say like it is being just requested just now. All right, so who is the author, you can assign the author. is it released yet? No, it didn't release yet. Or if you have a released planned already, whether you want to release it on that release period or not. There is a, what is it? Is it a feature? Is it a functionality? Is it a demand? You can define that, and as well as the version number you've been working with. And if you want to save it, just save it. And if you want to add a new requirement, you can add new there. So this is all about requirements. The next tab is the planning board in the planning section. So here you can plan your release and everything. So you can assign what things you want to do and everything in there. So right now, after this requirements gathering, we're gonna go on testing. So we have to, as you can see, there are test cases, test sets, test runs, automation hosts, and configuration. So what are the test cases? Test cases usually defines, like, you build a scenario, and based on that you test a specific functionality or a specific requirements. So say like as a login user, I want to test whether invalid usernames and passwords are able to bypass my security or bypass my authentication services, or whether using an invalid username and password works on my website or not. So these are the test cases. You can develop your test cases, test scenarios. So if you click on test cases, so you'll be finding I already added heaps of test cases here. So say I got a website where I want to add some clothes in my shopping cart. So say there is a test case here. If I click on that, it will be able to open that. So here, as you can see, so this is the overview, where you can add the overview, like what is this functionality doing. And then there is requirements coverage. You can add which requirements it's covering in this section. Say like as I have already added, the requirements it's been covering is, as a user I want to add clothes to my cart so that I can complete the checkout. So as you can see, that status has been requested, the importance is medium, and the project name and requirement ID there, and whether I ran the test or not, which release it incorporates to, any incidents happening with that, any attachments, whether I added it or not, test sets. So if I added already some test sets or not. So if you go back to the overview, go down the description, you can say test steps. So building a test plan or test case, you can during that time, if you want to test it, you have to add some test steps. So this is where the acceptance testing comes handy. Say you build a test test case and you already defined test steps. The test case have to be like that, that if a novice user uses following that test case, he can achieve the same goal or same objective as you defined in the test case. So my user requirement was that the user should be able to add the clothes to check out, to in the cart, to check out his shopping and everything. So, and based on that I designed the test case, and here is the test steps he had to follow. So what he need to do, as a user he have to be able to log in. So as a logged in user, go to t-shirt page, by successfully goes to t-shirt page, clicking t-shirt button there. So this is my description, and this is the expected result. Like say the description saying what is he needs to do, and the expected result, like as being a user, if I click that button I'll be able to go to that page. So that's the expected result there, successfully goes to the t-shirt page. And there is the sample data. Sample data is like, after going into the page, this page link should be there. So that's what I all copied there. Then whether it's passed or not and everything. So this is for this section. The another section will be coming soon. Thank you. Okay, now let me show you how to add a test case in here. So if we add, so if we go here, add new. So that's a new test case. So say I'm naming it login test. So that's my tests I'm using, whether the login is working properly or not. Test. Alright, so there I have to incorporate some steps here. So how do I incorporate steps? Insert step. So in step 1, to edit that, step 1, how to the page work, expected results successfully goes to the login page here. So whatever login page you're working on, that one, say I want to log in Facebook. So this is my Gmail login page. So here I type in user ID and there is the password. So it's as I already edited. So if I type in the password, that should be my login page successfully loaded in. So my test case, the step 1 should be that this login page should be loaded up here. So the test is not running yet. The second step is to insert the user ID and password. Expect to do the successfully. Insert valid user ID and password. Okay, so after successfully inserting user ID and password, click next. So that's showing my user ID is not right. So my user ID should be this should be the return website result. This should be the return website result link. So that's successful. So after that, that's it. So these are the steps I can go through. So how do I test it? So this is, if I save it, that's been saved. So here I can use user ID and password to log in the email system. So this is my test case, what it is trying to do, and these are the steps and these are the expected results I am expecting it out. So as you can see, the requirements coverage I hadn't added it, but if I add it here, so these are all my requests. So what is the requirements? User can go into the page, user can register, user can log in system using valid user ID and password. So these two is my requirements relating to this one. And then I haven't run any tests. Is it any releases incorporating to that? No. Any incidents? Haven't notified yet. Attachments? None. I haven't have anything yet. So if I execute this test, so I saved it, I'm saving it. After after that, if we execute it, say, see it's showing whether it's getting executed or not. So this is, say, execution wizard. I have to fix a release number. So this is released. So this is the login test. So what we do as an user accepts the test, we follow these instructions and steps, and if it is happening as it is said here, we'll pass it. Say like this, step 1 is successful, step 2 is successful, step 3 is successful as well. So then we pass it, and we can add the successful result information through image and everything, and if there is an issue we can add it here, incidents and everything there. So that's been the test case. So if you go to the test cases list now, it will be showing the login test, and it's showing the execution thing as well. So as you see, login test here is passed, ran on 31st January 2019. Whether it's functional or not, everything else is here, tracking. So if it's like there is an incident, so now the next step is test sets. So we make a test set based on how many tests like we can incorporate different test cases in a single test set. So we want to check the whole login process. So what we need to do, go to the user ID, then go to the login page, then insert login information, then actually create a register an ID, then login based on the successful creation of the ID. So these are the steps can be added in a single test set, incorporating different test cases. So this is what I have done. So this is, say, register an account. So how many test cases it has? It has 2 test cases. So what are those? So register an account, login for the page. So there's 2 test cases are incorporated here. So if we execute this one, it will be running based on the 2 different test cases, and we are incorporating that in a single release. So here, as you can see, so this is the test case number 1, and this is the test case number 2. So here is a thin line defining the 2 different test cases. So we can go through the whole process, whether it's pass or fail, for the whole set if it's done. So as you can see, I already added the informations here and everything there. So this is how the test sets works. Alright, so test runs. If we go on test runs, how many test runs I have run for, like, so this is the success rate and everything you can see in this board tracking. See if there was any incidents and everything, we can list it down here. Say like I had a login problem. What type of login is it? Problem is it? Is it a bug? What is the issue? We can describe. You previously registered login username and password does not work. Some registered user, thus every time login user need to go through the same registration process. So that I registered it as a bug. So this is whole acceptance testing, so user acceptance testing, where you give some information to the user and user follows the information. Is it a pass or a fail? You can notify that through SPIRA team. So thank you for all of attention. Hope to see you soon with a new video. Thank you.